Hello viewers, in this video I'll be going over silver. Today we are up 6 basis points on the 1 hour chart. We are approaching positive MACD. We converged overnight on the MACD. And as for the 4 hour chart, however, we are dipping into negative MACD and we are seeing the 200 moving average acting as support that dated all the way back to yesterday at 1 and continue to see lower highs, so that is acting as our immediate resistance. As for the daily chart, we see a reversal, or in the MACD, we saw a convergence that dated back to December 11th, and we also see a possible convergence on the 9-day moving average onto the 18-day moving average, this purple line. And at the moment, I do see higher lows as indicated right here, and since this resistance, or I should say support, we bounce off support, and this 150-day moving average, or this red line, is moving along with this trend. So I do expect the support to be higher than what we saw back in December 9th. So that is our immediate support, which is around the price of $16.68. And as for resistance, this 50-day moving average, this yellow line, is acting as our resistance. We saw resistance back in November 5th. We did not quite break out of it. And we also encountered that same resistance moving average back in December 4th. So one could say we do expect to encounter the same resistance around the price of $17.25. So if we were to move up higher, that price movement is roughly around 1.15%, and then to the downside is roughly 2.11% to the downside. And as you can see, we saw a large gap, or a large movement to the upside, and then I see we are getting into a narrow price range. So let me point out why. So we saw a small dip and another medium size to the upside, and a small dip as well. A small movement to the upside, small movement downside. So as the price gets more narrow, the indication will be we expect a large price movement to the upside or to the downside. So back to the forecast model. The forecast model is now available in the link below, so do check it out. If you configure the settings, we'll get the results of the videos, or results of the models that I do not go over with in the video, so do enjoy that. And so let's go to the day-by-day probability, where silver will head to the next coming days. What we have here, there is no extreme cases, or 2 and 3 standard deviation out. We don't see extreme cases of silver heading down 12 or 7%, or even 7 or 3% down. However, on the other side, or to the upside, we see a more favor possibility. We may hit 3 to 7% several times in like several days, and even extreme case 7 to 12%. Overall, it's most likely favoring to the upside compared to the downside. So where does this day-by-day probability come from? The day-by-day probability comes from the forecast model that I'll show you, where silver will head to the next coming days. So we have 1 day out, 2 days out, 3 days out, 4 days out, 5 days out, and 6 days out, and 7 days out. So which one of these models we should focus on? Ideally, the model that is the best match to the current trend. But right here we have the current trend, and below is the trend that I believe is the best match. This trend dates back to May 23rd, 2012 to August 1st, 2012. So let me point out why these two charts are similar. So what we have here, we start off slightly below the middle Bollinger Band, and then we proceeded to touch the upper Bollinger Band at this instance. After touching the upper Bollinger Band, we took a dip lower and touched the bottom Bollinger Band as well. We saw one right towards near the end, and then we finally revert to the mean and meet back on the middle Bollinger Band as well, right towards the end. So let's review the trend in question. Again, this trend dates back to May 23rd, 2012 to August 1st, 2012. So what we have here, we start off slightly below the middle Bollinger Band, and then we proceeded to touch the upper Bollinger Band. And then after touching the upper Bollinger Band, we also took another dip to the bottom Bollinger Band. And then after that, we reverted back to the mean and got back to the middle Bollinger Band. So what we have is about 1, 2, 3, 4 points. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So there's reason to believe that the trends and patterns are the same. The outcome and forecast should be fairly the same. So the model that we just reviewed was May 23rd, 2012 to August 1st, 2012. Back then, silver was up around 2%. So I do see silver overall climbing higher in the next coming days. So again, this model is now available in the link below, so do check it out. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.